Welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers Virtual College Fair. Thank you very much for joining us today. Before we get started with our presentation, just a few quick housekeeping items to go over. The first is just a reminder that attendees are welcome and certainly encouraged to ask questions to any of the panelists at any time utilizing the Q&A feature. You can pose your question to a specific panelist, or you can ask a general question to any and all of the panelists. Also, just a reminder that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. And there is one other block of sessions this evening, so if you haven't signed up for that yet, please do feel free to do so. And about 1 week from today, a recording of the session will be available on that same registration website. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to our first panelist, which will be Liberty University.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Good evening, y'all. My name is John Travis. I am an admissions representative with Liberty University. I graduated from Liberty in 2018 with my bachelor's of music. I met my wife at Liberty. I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia, where the school is located, so I do have a very personal connection to the university. But enough about me. Let's talk about Liberty. It is one of the world's largest Christian universities, and we do have over 200 undergraduate degree programs housed by 15 different schools and colleges. And what you're seeing now is a list of the schools where you can study. Some programs that I always enjoy highlighting are our School of Aeronautics, Business, Education, and Nursing. I do believe that these are areas where we do have some of the top programs in the country. Additionally, within these schools, we offer programs like pre-law, pre-med, pre-physical therapy, as well as pre-vet. Something we do recognize is it's important for students to feel seen, heard, and understood. And so our professors do play a large part in that by offering 10 office hours weekly where you can come in and ask questions and seek additional guidance. Additionally, to make sure you don't feel overwhelmed, you have a 21-to-1 student-to-professor ratio in our classes, even through the COVID-19 pandemic, where students are wearing their masks and social distancing when they can. We do offer 20 NCAA Division I sports, including football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, track and field, cross country, and more. And if your sport isn't offered at the Division I level, we do offer 40-plus club sports. Then if you're looking to have fun but still compete, we offer 20-plus intramural sports. Now, food's very important to our students, and it was to me during my college experience. And as a result, Liberty has been rated #1 in the U.S. for 2 years in a row recently. And aside from our main dining hall, we do offer some retail locations, including 4 Chick-fil-A's within a 5-mile radius of campus, 3 Dunkin' Donuts, and 2 Starbucks. With housing in mind, we have been rated #9 in the U.S. as a result of 3 housing styles, which includes classic dorm room style, resembling a long hallway with 2 to 3 people per room and a communal bathroom. The apartment style, resembling a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom apartment with a washer and dryer, as well as a full kitchen unit. And then finally, the hotel style, which is like a 2-person hotel room with a private bathroom and controlled heating and air. Also at Liberty, we are represented by all 50 states and over 70 countries, so you're guaranteed to meet someone from somewhere you've never been before. On campus, we do offer a lot of ways for you to have fun. First, we have Snowflex. It's a year-round skiing, snowboarding, and tubing lodge. Then we have Coffee House put on by our Student Activities Department. It's a student talent show where students can do their favorite musical, comedy, or dance acts with some really funny videos in between. We also have Convocation. It's the largest weekly gathering of Christian young people in the world, and currently it is being held virtually. But we have had speakers like Simone Biles, Steph Curry, Steve Forbes, and Sean Lowe from The Bachelor. And finally, we do have a workout facility with just about anything you could ever ask for in there. Our admissions process starts with submitting your application. We are accepting applications from students up to the fall 2023 semester. Now, for the fall 2021 semester, we are test optional, but anything beyond that is still to be determined. Additionally, we don't have any hard admissions requirements when regarding test scores or GPAs. We really want to examine all of your trends, your grades. Please submit everything that you do have. As a student at Liberty, we want to make sure that you feel supported academically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and with your future in mind. So our College of Applied Studies and Academic Success will offer peer review tutoring services where you can go for additional assistance from upperclassmen. And if you do need additional time taking tests or you want to earn college credit for information you already know, we have a testing center on campus where you can register for those exams. We then have our Career Center, which is there to offer cover letter and resume writing workshops, mock interviews, career-specific coaching, as well as general career fairs and career-specific fairs to prepare you for life after college. And finally, for our Center for Health and Wellness, we emphasize your wellness by offering multiple wellness initiatives, including mental health and spiritual wellness and counseling services. When considering the cost of college, Liberty is in the lower 25% of all private universities. And to assist with fighting the cost of college, 96% of our students do receive some form of financial aid, including a need-based or merit-based scholarship or grant, outside scholarships or student loans. I personally won't be promoting those. But one example of a merit-based scholarship opportunity would be the Liberty Academic Scholarship, where students can qualify for $1,500 to a full tuition academic scholarship by submitting their unweighted high school GPA and their SAT or ACT super scores. We do also accept the CLT. And finally, another form of financial aid is considered work study or student work positions, both of which we offer. We are currently holding classes and visits in person. So if you'd like to come see campus, we do have a daily tour. Experience LU, which is a full day event where you come to campus and you tour it, hear an admissions presentation and have lunch, and talk with the faculty and staff program that you're most interested in. And we also have College for a Weekend, which is by far our most immersive visit. If you'd like to learn more, visit www.liberty.edu/visit us to read more about all of the visits that we have going on. Finally, if you would like to claim an app fee waiver, you can text JT to 49596 and a link will be sent directly to your phone, like I said, where you can claim that free app fee waiver. And if you do have any questions, feel free to email me, jrtravis@liberty.edu, or drop them in the Q&A section below. Thanks so much for your time. Go Flames.
Thank you very much, Liberty. Just a reminder to any attendees who just joined us, please do feel free to ask any questions you have to any of the panelists utilizing the Q&A feature. But up next, as you see, is Illinois Wesleyan.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Starnes, and I am Regional Admission Counselor for Illinois Wesleyan University. Looking forward to getting a chance to speak with you real quickly over the next few minutes about IWU. I actually do live in the South in East Tennessee, so really close by for the region, and do enjoy working with everyone from the South as they look to go up to the state of Illinois. And I'll talk to you a little bit about how we see some of the information on how we became top 10 in the nation for job placement, and we're recently named the Hidden Gem College of the Midwest. So we'll dive right on in. So Illinois Wesleyan is a deeply rooted liberal arts university, about 1,700 undergrads. We're located in Bloomington, Illinois. It's about 2.5 hours south of Chicago. 16 average classroom size. You're not going to see this at Illinois Wesleyan. You're not going to see the larger stadium lecture style seating lecture halls. You're going to get a lot less lecture and more hands-on discussion. Classroom sizes, as I mentioned, are small. That allows for quality discussion with your peers, and of course, a lot of undivided attention from your faculty. Emphasis of value of the education, private education. We want to emphasize that so much of having these quality conversations in the classroom. In fact, we're an undergrad only school, so we have no grad students. It's all about the undergrad experience. So if you're looking for a smaller liberal arts university with that kind of mindset in mind, definitely check us out. Our students at any given period of time, 25% are involved in graduate level research. That's key, of course, to want to get you onto grad school. So Illinois Wesleyan is broken up into 3 main colleges. We have our College of Fine Arts, renowned School of Theater Arts, and musical theater, top 10 in the nation for that. And just so many applicants that come from the School of Theater Arts from across the Southeast. And we have our School of Music, tons of opportunities and professional degrees in our School of Art, all are renowned and again, deeply rooted in liberal arts. We have our School of Nursing, almost 2 decades of 100% job placement, and then it is direct admit. And then our main College of Liberal Arts, which contains the 80 major minor combinations that choose from the majority. So it's whether it be neuroscience or pre-engineering, physics, pre-med, there's so many different things to consider. And we usually have a path or a major that will help you get into your ultimate career field. Now at IWU, we do take a lot of pride in trying to become a more diverse university. Right now we have about 1/3 of our students on campus are students of color, and 40 different states in the nation represented on there, including North and South Carolina. We also have over 40 different nations around the world as well. So just trying to continue to find ways to bridge and make our school very welcoming for all. We have our Office of Diversity and Inclusion, which has everything from pre-orientation to special graduation opportunities, interfaith chapel, There's just so many different ways for students of all backgrounds to feel like they have a place and a voice on campus, and to be a welcoming atmosphere. And even first-gen students, over a third of our last class, first-generation college students, we want to be a very welcoming campus for all. Our campus life, we do have over 120 different student organizations on our campus. So even though, again, we aren't a large university, we do resemble a lot of ways what you would expect from your larger state universities or schools in that line. We have Greek life, we have sororities and fraternities, campus productions, theatrical productions. There's just so many different ways to get involved on campus. Students a lot of times will come in unsure what they want to get involved in, and by the time they get done with their freshman year, they've already got several things in mind. And of course, whenever they graduate, just so many different ways to connect. We have our athletics. We take a lot of pride in how competitive and successful our teams are. 24 different sports teams at our level. We're Division III NCAA. We do participate in the CCIW conference. We usually win more often than not across the board. Men's basketball team just won the championship a few weeks ago, so we're just really excited about that. And we even have esports. So if you're interested in gaming, students can get recruited to play esports on our campus. For financial aid, I can't stress enough, don't ever be intimidated by the fact that we're a private out-of-state school. Over 95% of our students are going to qualify for some type of financial aid once admitted. Usually it will be our renewable merit scholarship that does go as high as $34,000 renewable each year. And that is based on GPA and scores. So our average is 3.75 GPA last year, 26 ACT, 12.10 SAT. So if you're at those ranges or higher, not only would we be in great shape for acceptance, but to be on our upper end of our financial aid spectrum as well. So again, don't let financial aid intimidate you at all for any private school for that matter. A lot of times we can surprise. And then finally, the next steps on how to apply. Our app for our juniors right now, soon to be rising seniors, our app will go live in August. We're on the Common App. We are doing virtual visits and in-person visits. So we've got virtual visits going on spring and summer. Check out the campus if you're filling up for travel. We are doing in-person campus visits and summer events, very safe, very COVID safe, restrictions and precautions in place to keep our families. So far, we've had no issues this year. So we're just real excited to keep that up. And then finally, my main contact information is located at the top left. If you have any questions for me after this, feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call. We'll be glad to help you out. Do hope to see you visit the campus soon and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much, Illinois Wesleyan. Our next presenter is East Georgia State College.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Kelch, and I'm the Associate Vice President for External Campuses at East Georgia State College. And I'm also the Director of our Augusta location. For those of you that are unfamiliar with East Georgia State College, you might be asking, well, where exactly are you? Again, we have 3 campus locations. Our main campus is in Swainsboro, Georgia, which you can see here on the map. And then we have 2 external campuses, one in Augusta, Georgia, which is literally on the border of South Carolina. And then we also have our campus in Statesboro. And I'm going to tell you about those in detail in just a few moments. In regards to the degrees that we offer, we are primarily an associate degree institution. We have many different disciplinary distinctions and pathways. You can see those here on the screen, everything from arts to history and psychology, sociology to an associate of science in biology and business administration. We also have a certificate in digital photography, a Bachelor of Arts degree in Fire and Emergency Services Administration, a Bachelor of Science in Biology. And for those that may have an associate degree in nursing, we have an RN to BSN Bridge program for working registered nurses. So very diverse and complex, vast of academia here at East Georgia State College. Our main campus, again, is in Swainsboro, Georgia. This is where all of our 4-year and 2-year degrees are housed. I like to tell folks we have all the bells and whistles of a 4-year institution. We have the main campus. We have dorms, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, apartment style. Of course, you can take part in a meal plan, plenty of different clubs and organizations for you to get involved with. We do have NJCAA athletics. We have baseball, softball, and men's and women's basketball, and just a number of of activities and programs that you can get involved with at our main campus in Swainsboro. Again, all of our degree programs are housed there, and we do a really good job of helping students, once they graduate from high school, take those beginning level courses, no matter what their degree or what they want to pursue. Because primarily, if you want to get a 4-year degree, your first year and a half to 2 years, you're going to take the basic English, math, history, things of that sort. So a lot of students come to us, whether it's our Swainsboro campus, Statesboro, or Augusta, they get their core done and then they transfer out to whatever 4-year school they want to end at. And we do such a good job of that. We have 2 offsite location partnerships. I'm going to tell you about our Augusta campus first. Our Augusta campus is literally situated on the Summerville campus of Augusta University in Augusta, Georgia. And we have a program that's called the Cats to Jacks program. Our mascot is the Bobcat. So the thought is you start off as a Bobcat and then you transition over to becoming a Jaguar. All of our classes meet on campus. Students have access to all the amenities and activities offered at Augusta University, which is a very small number of things you couldn't actually participate in. For example, if you wanted to play a sport for Augusta University, you'd have to wait until you transfer it to Augusta University. But you can do intramurals and pretty much anything else that an Augusta University student would be able to do. You would also be able to do that, but you would still only pay our tuition price, and you pay the student fee rate of Augusta University. And we have that same setup with Statesboro, and the program there is called the B2E program, or the Bobcat to Eagle program. Pretty much the same exact method. The only thing different is that our Statesboro campus right now, we do have a set alone campus from Georgia Southern, but in about a year or so, we'll actually be located on Georgia Southern as well. So again, the thought process is students come to us, they pay a pretty affordable tuition. We have one of the lowest tuitions for any school in the university system of Georgia, and students that are living in South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Alabama, you all also can receive in-state tuition as well. So they'll start with us and then transfer out to either Augusta University or Georgia Southern or any other school in the university system of Georgia. And for that fact, even if you were looking at another school outside of East Georgia State College, but you decided to start with us, you could pretty much transfer those core classes anywhere. And I also failed to mention, we do have a number of online classes as well that are also transferable. As far as admissions goes, all we need is your high school transcript and your application. If you've done dual enrollment, we need your college transcript as well. We're an open access institution, so pretty much if you apply and give us your high school transcript, we're going to be able to work with you and get you admitted without having to take the AccuPlacer or SAT or ACT. But if you have those scores, you can turn those scores in, because those will help us determine what courses we need to put you in your first semester. You can see here on the screen what our different score requirements are, but of course, due to COVID, we've changed those quite a bit. Now we can look at the GPA at least until fall 2021, and then come fall 2022, we'll start looking at SAT, ACT, AccuPlacer scores again. But again, in order for admissions, it is not needed in order to be admitted to East Georgia State College. You can see here on the screen our tuition and fees and how affordable we are. Definitely do not forget to do your FAFSA. Doesn't matter what college you want to go to, please do your FAFSA as soon as possible. You can list up to 10 schools that you want to have your financial information sent to. Please do your FAFSA. All right, go ahead and knock it out, especially if you're planning on once you graduate, going straight into classes in the summer. You definitely need to do your 2020, 2021 FAFSA. If not, definitely do your 2021, 2022 FAFSA. At our main campus in Swainsboro, we have a number of scholarships. And one in particular is the CACRAO scholarship, which is a 4-year renewable scholarship at our main campus. I have our contact information here on the screen. We're waiving the application fee until May 21st, and I'll be here to answer any questions you have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, East Georgia State. Now we're going to move into the second half of our presentations for this session. And up next is Covenant College. You're muted, Alana.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Elena Klingscales, and I am an admissions counselor at Covenant College. Thank you for being here with us this evening. We really appreciate you taking the time to hear about our colleges. So Covenant College, we are a top tier, nationally ranked liberal arts and sciences Christian college. And our college motto is in all things Christ preeminent. That is recognizable in every aspect of campus, from the classroom to the residence life to every club and athletic team here on campus. So we are located on the top of Lookout Mountain, Georgia, just 15 minutes away from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And if you're not familiar with the area, what you see in front of you is Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the mountain right behind that is Lookout Mountain, Georgia. So our campus borders the border between Tennessee and Georgia, and we have this beautiful 400-acre campus on top of the mountain. When our students have hiking trails right in their backyard, as well as a hang gliding field right next to campus, but they're just 15 minutes away from a really thriving metropolitan area with a freshwater aquarium and a semi-professional sports teams, an IMAX theater. So you're just 15 minutes away from kayaking on the Tennessee River or going to see a movie at an IMAX theater. A really wonderful location. So our student body, we have about 1,000 students, and they come to us from 42 states and 29 different countries. 69% of our student body is from out of state, which is really important because we have a residential campus. So 83% of our students live on campus, and there's always something going on. There are 35 different campus-wide activities planned throughout the year, and that's not even taking into account intramurals and residence life and all of those things. So if you come to us from out of state, Covenant will become your home, and you will always have something to do on the weekends. So we are, like I mentioned before, a highly academically rigorous, nationally ranked liberal arts college. We are one of only 5 schools in the Coalition for Christian Colleges and Universities that are ranked as a national liberal arts college by the U.S. News World and Report, and we are the only one of those located in the South. So this will give you a good idea of the middle statistic academic range for our average applicant at Covenant. And it would be important to know 99% of our students receive some form of financial aid. So we are committed to making Covenant a reality for you and for your family. We also accept the common application, as well as you're welcome to apply through our website. And just to give you an idea, around 1,000 students, our student to faculty ratio is 13:1, and we have an average class size of 18. So your professors are going to know your name. And more than that, they're going to be mentors for you. And I wouldn't be surprised, or you shouldn't be surprised, if you come to Covenant and one of your professors asks if you want to grab breakfast in the Great Hall, or even challenges you to an intramural game. They love getting to know their students. So your experience at Covenant is going to be built on 3 main pillars, right? Academic excellence, right? We're committed to academic excellence. For spiritual formation, one thing that distinguishes Covenant is the fact that we integrate faith and learning in the classroom. Our professors are committed to teaching you how to make your future vocation an expression of your faith. And then also professional development. So one cool thing about Covenant is that you don't have to sacrifice in either of these areas. We are highly committed to all 3, and you don't have to sacrifice one for the sake of the other. Student life on campus, we have a really rich and interconnected community. And like I said, intentional and engaging. We do not have freshman housing, and we don't have athlete housing. So that we put our freshmen and our athletes directly onto a hall that already has its own established tradition and identity. So you're already welcomed right into this established community. We have a ton of fun campus events, like I mentioned, 35 campus-wide events, as well as just random residence life events like, I don't know, making fondue with the students on your hall, or watching a movie together, and all of those things. We also have clubs, intramurals, and varsity athletics here at Covenant. So a little bit about our athletics. We are NCAA Division III. We have 23 varsity and JV teams on our campus. We also have the best winning percentage of any college in our conference. We have the best academic GPA average of any college in our conference. So our students are maintaining that GPA average because they're there to get an education first and foremost. And then thirdly, we have the best attendance of any school in our conference. And we also have won the sportsmanship award for I don't know how many years in a row in our conference as well. So if you are interested in Covenant College, please come join us. We would love for you to come to Covenant and really experience the rich spiritual formation and professional formation and academic excellence that we have to offer here. Like I said before, you're welcome to apply on our website. Seniors, we are still accepting applications for the fall of 2021. And then juniors, the application will be open to you in August of next year. In order to apply to Covenant, just visit one of those two places. And then also please get connected with your admissions counselor at Covenant, Paul LeMay. His contact information is right there and he'd love to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Covenant College. Now we're going to move on to Penn State University.
All right, let me pull out my presentation. All righty. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Jordan. I am the admissions counselor for your area from Penn State. I'm incredibly excited to be chatting with you all today. And without further ado, let's get going. So telling you a little bit about Penn State. Penn State is a top 1% world-class university. So what that means for you all is it means that we were recently ranked in the top 50th out of 18,000 institutions globally. And this is due to our academics, but it also includes some of our resources and support that we provide our students. So it is not just inclusive of our academics and our really awesome faculty. It's also inclusive of the support and resources that we provide our students. You can see that right below there in our percentages, our 85% graduation rate, which is about 25% above the national average, and then our 93% retention rate, which basically means we have all of our students come in for their first year, and then 93% of those students will choose to stay for their second year. So that tells us that you're finding support, you're finding success at Penn State. You're also enjoying your time at Penn State, which is the most important part. Some other resources and awesome things that we have available on campus. We do have a top ranked career services. So if you were wanting to, lots of resume workshops, career counseling, career fairs that are extremely large that you can attend free as a Penn State student. We also have 300 study abroad networks. So basically what this means is we're continuing this network throughout COVID. So it was kind of halted. We didn't allow students to travel due to COVID. But we are continuing with this network, and our global programs is working really hard to keep those universities in that network together. We do have a 16:1 student to faculty ratio. So while our campus is really, really large, we still have a very good opportunity for students to get that 1-to-1 ratio or that interaction with their professors. It's a really awesome experience. One way that you can do that is get involved in research. Penn State is a Research 1 institution. We allow students as early as their freshman year to get involved in research. And we actually just, surpassed the 1 billion mark on undergraduate research donations. So that's really incredible. We get a ton of donations for just undergraduate research alone. One thing that people do not know about Penn State's campus, we have 20 different campuses. So they're all spread across geographically the state of Pennsylvania. They range in size from about 500 students to 5,000 students, with our largest campus being 46,000 students. So you get a really big jump there from 5,000 to 46,000. The largest campus is University Park. It is right in the middle of Pennsylvania. Again, 46,000 students at that campus alone. It is our most competitive campus as well. But you have 19 other campuses to choose from, and they all offer the same education. So you get the same degree, no matter which campus that you apply to, no matter which campus you graduate from. We do offer something called the 2+2 plan. So if you were looking, let's say you're interested in pre-medicine, and pre-medicine is only available at that University Park campus, you can do something called the 2+2 plan, which allows you to go 2 years at any campus of your choosing. And then you can complete your degree at University Park's campus where your major would be able to be completed at. So that's the really unique thing about Penn State that allows us to kind of be flexible and give access to a lot of students, and then also provide students opportunities to maybe start at a smaller campus or finish at a smaller campus. It's kind of up to you, but still get that Penn State degree. If that wasn't enough options for you, we do have 275 academic programs. These are all housed in our academic colleges. So when you apply to Penn State, you will be applying into an academic college. So I graduated from the College of Health and Human Development from Penn State, but I majored in human development and family studies. So I would focus on the major that you're interested in. If you're not quite sure, no worries. We do have a division of undergraduate studies that you are able to start in and then figure out what you want to do, explore a little bit, and then you can officially declare your major at the end of your sophomore year. We definitely encourage our students to get involved. There's over 1,200 clubs and activities for students to get involved in. 1,000 of these are on the University Parks campus. So we have club sports, intramural sports, art, theater, dance, philanthropic opportunities. In the background of this picture, you'll actually notice a bunch of students holding their hands up. This is our Penn State Dance Marathon. It is the largest student-run philanthropy in the entire world. 20,000 Penn Staters get involved in this each year. And this year they raised about $10 million for pediatric cancer. So if you're looking to get involved in something like that, it's a great opportunity for you to get involved in that. Penn State was one of the first institutions to implement diversity and inclusion into their strategic plan. So you as students can get involved in this on campus as well. There's organizations, networks, initiatives going on. We definitely want to and encourage students to educate our community as well on diversity and inclusion. All right, so if you're coming to the end here, you're like, okay, I really want to apply to Penn State. There are 4 things that we need from you. We will need an online application. So through the Common App, the Coalition app, or directly through our website. We have no preference. Please, once you hit submit, check your email, because you will be prompted to create a My Penn State profile. This is going to be your home base for all things Penn State. It's going to have your checklist here, all the things that you need regarding Penn State. It'll also have your self-reported academic record, your SRAR. So this is where you will fill out all of the things that you need regarding your 9th through 11th grade grades, and then your 12th grade schedule. And last but not least, Penn State did decide to go test optional this year. So if you would like to submit your test scores, you can, but you do not have to. It is completely up to you. Taking a look at our eligibility, this is my last slide. Again, we have no minimums, no cutoffs at Penn State, but it gives you a good estimate on where you fall as far as a Penn Stater. So thank you all so much. Very, very excited to chat with you. And if you have questions, go ahead, put them in the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Penn State. And thank you for that reminder to our attendees to ask any questions they have through the Q&A. We're moving on to our final presentation, but there's still plenty of time to get your questions answered. But up next is Kennesaw State University.
All right, let me see if this wants to help me out for a little bit. And then we're gonna switcheroo here. All right.
Abby, I think you froze there. You able to hear me, Abby? We may have lost Abby for a minute. Abby, if you're able to hear me, you might kind of log out and log back in. While we're waiting to see if Abby is able to rejoin us, perhaps we can do some questions here ourselves. It looks like maybe Abby's screen has frozen as well, which is freezing ours, but we can certainly use our audio. Oh, there we go. So while we're waiting for Abby to come back in and join us, why don't we do just a very quick round of questions here ourselves. Panelists, if I could ask you the following question. What is one thing you did not have time to present on that you'd like to quickly cover? We'll leave some time at the end for Abby to go ahead and present. So what's one thing you did not have time to quickly cover in your presentation that you'd like to introduce now, perhaps your favorite event or tradition, fun fact about your school, etc. So how about we start off with Liberty?
Real quick, one of my favorite things that we do is at the beginning of the school year, we do something called block party. Oftentimes, we will have a lot of like 4 or 5 musical artists. I believe in 2019, we kicked off the year. We had Colony House come out and do live music, but it's just an opportunity for our students just to kick off the year right with other students, get to know people, get to see what clubs are available, what things they can get plugged into. But like I said, just have a good time right before you honestly start one of those difficult times of your life. But that's just no biggie. But like I said, just to start understanding who your community is and how you can each support one another. So block party right at the beginning of the year is one of my favorite parts of Liberty.
Great, thank you. Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, for us, I just can't stress enough about the success. I mentioned about the top 10 placement, job placement in the nation. That's from some of the government data. Our students, just some quickly, we've got over 70% of our students that are participating in at least one internship during their time. Over half are going to be in multiple during their time. We have a very extensive alumni network, and a lot of schools do naturally, but we do such a good job of just getting our students either training, mentorship, job placement with our own alumni, whether it be going on to letter of references and recommendations or just getting a job and get started. And that's one reason why so many of our students just have so much success either going on to grad school or going into the job placement. So that's just one of the things that if that's really something that you want to see happen, we're going to help you out on that front for sure.
Great, thank you. East Georgia.
Yes, sir. I think one thing I'd like to just hone in again is, our affordability. We're at right about $95 a credit hour. And again, our courses are transferable. So, one of the things, again, I just like to just hone in on is, please make sure, again, no matter which college you're interested in, make sure you complete your FAFSA, make sure you complete any steps in regards to financial aid, regardless of which college you want to go to. And again, just to stress our affordability in East Georgia. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Doesn't hurt repeating reminders about the FAFSA. Covenant.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to just dive into more of our specific academic programs on campus. There are 3 that truly stand out. So the Georgia Education Commission has told us that we have one of the best education departments in the state for 2 years in a row. We also have a pre-engineering partnership with Georgia Tech, where our students come to Covenant, get their prerequisites done, and then have automatic transferred acceptance into Georgia Tech to finish out their engineering degree. And then thirdly, we also have an 85% acceptance rate into medical school your first year out of college, which is triple the national average. So just emphasizing that not only will you come to Covenant to really figure out who you are and who you want to become, but that we can get you there, essentially.
Great, thank you. Penn State, you got a question or two about water polo, so maybe you want to include that in there.
Sure, I can sneak that one in there. Yes, our men's and women's water polo teams, they practice together. So while we don't have a co-ed team, we do have a men's and women's, and they do practice together. They share the same coach. So thank you for that question. I guess my little tidbit tradition that Penn State has that I didn't get to talk about was our athletics. We do have a really big athletics program on University Park's campus. We are Division I. We actually just wrapped up our spring practice event where we actually got to invite our first year students to finally come into the Big Beaver Stadium, which normally holds about 110,000 people. And they had about 8,000 first year students come to enjoy the game, enjoy the practice. So it was really fun. Normally, and we're hoping, fingers crossed, this year, we're going to enjoy maybe at least 100,000 people in the stands. But we'll see. But that would be the one thing that Penn State really prides itself on. And we do have a lot of really great other opportunities for those of you that don't want to participate in varsity sports. We have Division III, we have club sports, lots of really great opportunities for students.
Great, thank you. Looks like we are still waiting for Kennesaw to rejoin us. Hopefully they can get back in the next minute. But we can do another round of questions. I see our attendees are still asking questions, which is great. So I would pose this question to you all. What's one piece of advice you have for a student going through the college search process? Maybe as an admissions professional, what you've seen students looking for, questions they've asked, etc. What piece of advice would you give to these students? Should we go reverse order and start with Penn State?
Caught me off guard there. I was answering questions. I guess my piece of advice for you all would be get to know your admissions counselors. There's a lot of really incredible people here, and be open-minded to a lot of different schools. There's lots of really great things that schools can provide, that colleges can provide to you. And that was one thing that I wish that I did when I was doing my college search process, that I actually reached out to my admissions counselor and said, hey, what's unique, what's cool about your school, or what you're about your institution. That would be my piece of advice.
Great, thank you. Yeah, thought I'd switch it up and keep you on your toes. Covenant?
I could not agree with that more. I would say, please connect with your admissions counselor. That's what we're here for. But also, I think it's really important to visit the schools that you've narrowed down. So narrow down your options to those top schools and then take some time to go visit and spend some time on campus.
Great, thank you. East Georgia State?
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say definitely, if you can, take a physical tour or at least a virtual tour. Get a feel for the college, because there's nothing like actually setting foot on the campus to really see if it fits for you. And I would also add, maybe have a plan B that's going to get you back to your plan A. So if your first choice doesn't work out or what have you, have something else, in the pocket that's still going to help you get to where you want to the goal that you want to achieve later on.
Great, thank you. Illinois Wesleyan?
For me, I would probably say, just try your best to take advantage of the visit opportunities. I can't stress enough, visiting in person is awesome, but there's so many ways to do virtual visits, and they're so convenient to do. Even if it's just a few schools that you are even kind of deciding on, a virtual visit, even if it's 15 minutes, might go a long way to solidify if you want to visit the campus in person or apply or whatever it may be.
Great, thank you. And Liberty?
I think this one's not only going to be an admissions one, but a college one. Beat and meet your deadlines. Don't wait until the last minute to do everything. And like I said, it's not just an admissions thing, it's a college thing too. Some of my best grades in college were because I turned assignments in early and I didn't wait until the last minute to do them. One of the ways that you achieve that is also by staying organized. So it's kind of like a twofold thing. Beat and meet your deadlines, but also stay organized, because you don't want to email like Jordan at Penn State and then accidentally address it to Andrew at Illinois Wesleyan. That'd be really awkward. So beat and meet your deadlines, stay organized.
Surprisingly, people do that even after they graduate college. So good advice. Thank you again to all of our panelists for joining us. Unfortunately, it looks like Kennesaw is not going to be able to rejoin us in time, but we certainly want to thank all of our panelists for spending some time sharing information about their schools. We certainly want to encourage all of our attendees to reach out to our panelists, to these institutions to continue this conversation. We also want to, of course, thank all of our attendees for joining us today. We hope you learned a bit about schools and the application process, and that you'll continue that research. Before we do end this session, just a few quick housekeeping items. The first is that when you close this window, you will receive a very quick 4-question survey that we ask you to take a minute and complete. And there is one other block of sessions this evening, so if you haven't signed up for that, please do so. And about 1 week from today, a recording of this session will be available on that same registration website. But thank you again to everybody, and to all of our students. Good luck in your college search. Have a great evening.